Hi, and welcome to part 2 of our training video series. I'm glad you have joined us back again. If you haven't watched the first video, I encourage you to go back and watch video number 1. It is posted on YouTube under Jupin Jules Training Videos. If you have watched the first video, I hope that you went and that you talked to your Premier Mom and said, what do I do next? It's very, very important for you to stay in touch with your upline, whether it's your immediate sponsor or 1 to 2 or 3 levels up. We are here to help you. We want to have you have success. We want you to succeed, and we are available and want to help you with any questions you might have. So we're going to kind of pick up where we left off, and if you remember on the first video, I had mentioned to you, and excuse me, that's got water stains on it, about our new jeweler checklist, and this is a great, great tool to have. If you do not have one, contact your Premier Mom. And as we talked about in the last time, we basically went through what your jeweler number is and what your why is and possibly how many shows you might want to schedule in order to meet your financial goals with Premier. Well, lo and behold, I went looking and I found this new Premier. It's a New Jewelers, Your Guide to a Great Start. So new jewelers, you should have this in your kit. And so I encourage you, when your kit comes that has your catalogs, order forms, and some of those other things that you need, that you look for this guide, because this is going to correlate right alongside of our new jeweler checklist. So what we're going to do today is a little bit of review about how you can have this guide work for you in some of the things that we talked about last week. So if you will open your guide to your first page, there it talks about your life, your way. And so when it asks for your jeweler number, I wanted to offer some clarification. Your jeweler number is I believe it's a 6-digit number. Now, when you log into the Premier website, they ask for your login, and that is your jeweler number with a J, letter J, in front of it. But when you are wanting to just know what your jeweler number is, it is just the actual number, and then your login on the Premier site is J with your jeweler number. So just important to know, and I did encourage you to write that down, keep it someplace, commit it to memory. And then under important contacts, you most likely have already been given the information for your upline sponsor and your upline that can help you out. But make sure that you do have those. I encourage you to put them in your phone. You just never know when you might need them. And then on the jeweler site, there are some things that are really helpful for you to do. When you log in at premierdesigns.com. And it will take you to jeweler.premierdesigns.com, I believe. But on that site, you can place orders. You can check your order status. You can update your personal information. So if you have an address change or email change, you can update that. There's also information about trainings, local trainings, national trainings, and also training videos. And I cannot encourage you enough to go into the video section, and on one of the upcoming training videos, I'll navigate you around the website a little bit just so you can see what might be important. Your Premier inbox on there, it's about the middle of the first screen, has all your messages, so you can go in there and check and see if there's any important emails from Premier. There's also special offers and graphics that you can use. So when Premier might be running a customer special or a hostess special, they give you all the materials that you need in there. Talk to your Premier sponsor, your Premier Mom, about more information about how to navigate through that. It's very, very important to know. And then my Premier Awards, and again, I'll go through that on a future video, but just wanted you to be aware of some of those things that are available to you. And so, like I said, going through this Premier guide is an excellent tool. So what I want to take us to next is, we talked about our why last time. And so then if you go to page 12 of this, it talks about Let's Do Launch, and we're talking about your training show, or what you might call your business launch. And there's some really important things to know going into this, and we will cover this more. But the first thing you want to do is set your date. Now, Premier encourages you to have that date set within 30 days of your sign-in date. And I encourage you to get that in as fast as you can, because that's going to help launch your business and get you started. So you don't want to waste any time on that. You do want to go ahead and get started. So sit down with your Premier Mom and y'all pick a date. Because she's very, very important to this show, because she's actually going to do this show for you. But pick that date, and then what I want you to do next is brainstorm. Make a list of everybody that you can think of. And we give you some ideas, but it might be, I like to think of friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids. That's Frank. Friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and friends, and kids. And that's Frank. And so those are just some ideas, but think about places that you go to often, maybe the bank or church, Bible study, just a circle of friends, maybe a book club or a bunco club. I mean, there's all sorts of different places that you can invite people. And you really do want to invite everybody you know, because you're kicking off a business and you want their support. And it's okay to ask for their support, especially from family and close friends. So just start thinking about that, brainstorming, getting a list started, and then share it. You're going to want to put it on Facebook if you're on social media, or Instagram, Snapchat. There's just all sorts of resources, but get it out there on social media, because that is the way that people are communicating these days, and you really don't want to miss out on that. We will talk about in future videos different ways you can use social media also, especially with your hostesses, and helping them manage and plan their shows and invites through social media. You're also going to want to collect pre-orders, and the reason you want to do that is a couple of reasons. First of all, you'll have some people that tell you you can't make it to the show, or they can't make it to your show. And you're going to want to do a couple of things there first, because you're going to want to ask them, hey, would you help me out? I'm starting this business, and would you mind having a few girlfriends over, we'll come sit around your kitchen table, I'll bring some jewelry, and you can help me out by letting me practice doing some of my shows with you. So you always want to ask for a show if someone can't come. And then if they just say no, they can't do that, then you might ask if they would mind having a catalog and just passing around a catalog, maybe at work or with friends or neighbors, that they can collect some orders for you. So that's an option. And then another option is you ask them if they can't make your party, don't want to do a party, don't want to pass around a catalog, well, ask them for an order. Show them a catalog and say, you know, it will really help me out if you place an order. I'm getting my business going here, and your support means a lot. And so what happens is when you get $100 in pre-orders, what that means then is you are entitled to the $50 bonus. Because, didn't really go into this in a lot of details, maybe should have, when you have your training show, you are the hostess of your show, which means you are entitled to all the hostess benefits. But in addition to that, you're also the jeweler. Even though you're not physically doing the show, it is still your business launch, and you get 50% of the profit of everything sold at retail at your show. So there's a double benefit there for you. So as the hostess benefits, as our hostesses are able to receive a $50 gift card for free jewelry when they have $100 in pre-sales, it's the same for you on this training show. So get those pre-orders. They're very, very important, and they'll help increase your show retail in addition to that. At your show, you're going to want to take notes. You're going to want to watch your Premier Mom and see how she is doing things, how she interacts with the guests. There's a lot of things, and I'm sure she has already sat down and gone over some of these things with you. But watch, take notes. This is a time to learn, and your Premier Mom is there to help you every step of the way. So we're going to jump back to the jeweler checklist for just a moment. And again, some of this we've already covered, but on item number 3 on the jeweler checklist, right there, it says start booking home shows for right after the date of your show. And you say, why would I want to do that? Well, you don't want to wait till your training show to get your business going for right after. You really want to have shows in your calendar that take place right after your training show. You don't want to miss out on some opportunities here. So like I said, as you're inviting people to your business launch show, and if they can't come, then ask them to do a show for you and tell them how much that their support means to you. Even though you haven't done a show yet, just schedule those for right after your training show. And I'm getting ready to tell you why that is so important. Because what Premier does for us is they really help us as we're launching our business. And one of the ways it helps is if you gain momentum in your business as you get started. So what Premier has done for new jewelers is they have a program that they call, well, this is several of the programs here, but the first program that you want to be aware of is the Quick Start program. So you'll see there, Quick Start 6, Quick Start 9, Quick Start 12. And this is on page 14 of your Premier guide. And so on this page, what you do is, down in this box right here, you write down your training show date. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sit down with your Premier mom, and you're going to count out 45 days from that training date. And what your goal needs to be there is you need to get 6 shows within 45 days of your training date. That means shows that are held. And it can be Facebook shows. It can be just a couple of girlfriends at Starbucks and a show showing jewelry. But you need to have 6 shows, and you also need to have $1,200 in retail in those first 6 shows. But what that does for you, number one, Premier is going to reward you with free jewelry. You are going to get a $200 retail jewelry certificate, which means you can pick out anything up to $200 in free jewelry with that certificate. And what that does is it gives you additional jewelry on your table. I hope you've purchased the boutique. It's very critical to have jewelry if you're trying to sell jewelry. But that gets you additional jewelry on your table. But more than that, it gets momentum going in your business. And so if you have shows booked, you're going to be able to keep going in your business. Shows are the heartbeat of your business, so you always want to have shows. So getting the momentum as you're getting started, getting those first 6 shows in 45 days, it just gets you off to a great start. And then the rest of the Quick Start program here is noted. And to get Quick Start 9, you're going to want to count out 60 days from your training show, and you're basically going to want to add 3 more shows. So that's why it's called Quick Start 9, and that's 60 days from your training show. And then, but you're only having to add 3 more shows to the 6 you've already done. This is a cumulative goal process. So if you don't get Quick Start 6, you don't get an opportunity to try for 9 or 12. And then 12 shows is another 3 shows that are within 90 days. That gives you 3 months to get those. And so what Premier rewards you with is $200 on the first Quick Start 6, and then $100 apiece on the 9 and the 12. That's $400 in free jewelry, and that gets you off to a great start. And so what I encourage you to do is sit down with your Premier mom and you look at a calendar and you mark those dates in here so you know how to plan and manage your calendar. And there will be a video coming up on how to manage your calendar and how you can get dates on your calendar. But for now, I just encourage you, go to these pages in here, become familiar with them. In addition to the Quick Start, there's also Joan's Rookie Team. And for that, you do 12 shows, which is actually part of your Quick Start 9, and sponsor 2 new jewelers in 180 days, and that's another $300 in free jewelry. Girls, that starts to add up to a lot of free jewelry, and obviously we like jewelry if we're in the jewelry business, don't we? So that's it for today. I'm going to, on the next video, we're going to run through some things that you'll want to make sure that you have in place before your training show. Again, thank you for watching. After you've watched this video, contact your Premier mom or your upline and say, okay, I've watched video number 2. And if you have any questions at that point, ask, and she or any of us will try to get answers for you. Have a great day.